Hi, welcome to Somerset County's National Ag Day celebration. This year we're celebrating Root Where You Are, and I hope you'll enjoy our virtual presentations. I'm Commissioner Paul Drake, and I'm here with Commissioner Melonie, Deputy Commissioner Melonie Marano, and also Laura DePreto. She's not a member of the County Ag Board, as well as she has her own company, Plantscaping. So we're here today to talk about all what it takes in terms of farming. Somerset County certainly has a strong agricultural tradition, and we want to celebrate our farmers. We want to celebrate the ability for farmers to put food on our table. And in doing so, it does require a lot of work, and that's the work that we all want to celebrate today as we celebrate Ag Day. And looking forward to not only planting and showing you how we're going to do some planting, but also the benefits that bringing food to our table does, not only for our mental health, as well as for our nutrition. So let's talk today about food and agriculture, and we're going to go through some planting techniques on how you can sort of start your garden early now that the weather is breaking and the weather is getting nice outside. We want to start thinking about our gardens.
Yeah, and I don't know about all of you, but I was thinking about my garden last year for this year. So I thought it'd be a wonderful opportunity today and all of us together to really root where we are in real time, to be able to bring to you hands-on activities using seeds and things around your home. So we're all going to be doing this together. We're all in this together, that is for sure. And seeds are such a beautiful way to start, simply because seeds are givers of life, if you will, right? These hard seed coats of many, many seed varieties contain all their energy within their shell. And we're going to direct sow today, if you will, and I'll explain that momentarily. Seeds literally from inside right into the ground. So that you can do this too. And if you've never handled a seed before, well, this will be your first time and hopefully not your last, because gardening is contagious and it is so good for you as well. For a lot of reasons, we've all been isolated for the past 2 years, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. And gardening and growing is always open as far as we're concerned.
Laura, I want you to explain how not only our Ag Week also corresponds with Port Therapy Week.
Sure, absolutely. So we talk about agriculture, we're talking about growing food, growing flowers, dairy farms, meat, etc. And so we're really looking at what would become the therapeutic aspects of the growing of plants. So horticulture is the growing of plants, right? And there's a lot of science that goes into that. And we're all going to be farmers and scientists today while we're doing our seedlings momentarily. And the therapeutic aspect is socially. So it connects us to be able to bring us together, to have something in common, hands-on, putting your hands in the soil. By the way, I don't necessarily always like to touch soil, right? A lot of people like to wear gloves. So it's a matter of preference as for everything that I share with you in answer to your question.
Sure.
And the social aspects, the vocational aspects, new trade, learning, interns, students, learning both the commercial field of agriculture and plant propagation. And then there's therapeutic, which would be a hospital setting.
Sure.
So it's bringing people and plants together. And it's not always about the plant in horticulture as therapy, but rather about growing a beautiful person and bringing a meaningful connection to them, whether it's social or it's vocational or it's therapeutic.
Yeah, I like watching plants grow. I like put the plant in the ground,
right,
and then watch it grow from a seedling up to a bigger plant, whether it's a vegetable or a flower.
Absolutely.
Opportunity to celebrate.
I'm going to ask all of you out there, and which came first, the seed or the plant? Okay, and asked and answered. It actually was a plant that came first about 500 million years ago,
Okay.
and in the form of spores, which contain cells. And therefore we had the plant that came first, kind of like the chicken or the egg. Well, this is the plant or the seed. So we're going to actually start today with, I picked a large seed. We're going to do 3 seeds direct sowing. So why don't you grab your peat pots?
Yeah,
and
these are great little peat pots.
Yep, they're recyclable. And for our purposes today, and for you as you're doing this, you're going to be direct sowing small, medium, and large seeds into the ground. And I say that in quotes, meaning the commissioners have the peat pots let's just say that right now your seed is going into the peat pot, which is the ground, okay? These are wonderful recyclable materials. And the smallest seed that we're actually gonna pick today is both ornamental and edible. And it is the blue violet, common blue violet. Commissioner Marano,
Yes.
one of your favorites, right?
One of my favorites. It's a Jersey flower.
The common blue violet actually is, I'm gonna just put some in my
Small little seeds.
tiny. You see
These
how
are like a poppy seed.
yeah,
size.
they're super, super, super tiny. I'm gonna put them back in the bag just for a minute. So what I'd like you to do, commissioners, is can you go ahead and just put some soil? I have,
All right.
if you have little kitchen scoopers, measuring cups at home,
That's like use
commissioners
my
are
hands.
using, and you could use your hands too, it doesn't matter. And you're gonna use the measuring spoon. And by the way, we're just talking about a nice loose potting soil. Hands in
good
the
potting
soil.
soil.
That's good.
How
That's
much
good.
do you want? About up to here full?
Yeah, you don't have to fill
No.
your peat pots.
Okay.
And actually, both of you are correct. So if you just want to show everybody,
Yeah, I got mine
you
pretty
know,
full. Pretty full.
his is full, yours is half full.
Yeah,
No big deal. And by the way, the smaller the seed, the closer it is to the top. It just sits on the top.
Right.
And so what I'm going to do with both of you is I'm going to give you your tiny little
Seeds. Have
seeds.
one that kind.
I know,
loose
and they're
here.
kind of bouncing around the
I know.
table. And seeds are absolutely, hey, you know what? Their most vulnerable place is when they just start to germinate. So right now they're not. They're hard coated, if you will. Paul, I don't want to drop that
That's
on
all
you.
right.
How many seeds do you need per
Okay.
pot?
Well, these are super tiny, and one of the best things you could do is what I call a little triangle method, a triangular pattern for your seeds in your container. And I'm going to do the same thing for you, Commissioner. I'm going to just put a couple in the palm of your hand. There you go.
Okay.
You got more than enough in your
Yeah,
okay.
looks
And
like I
just
have
go
it.
ahead and you can sprinkle them about like you're putting sprinkles
Okay.
on an ice cream
What I
cone.
like about planting now is you can plant these indoors, and you can get,
Yes.
especially since this is a peat pot, this is biodegradable. You plant this whole pot right into the ground,
Yes.
and therefore once it starts, you can start these indoors. You know, your kitchen or your nice warm window. They start to grow, and then when the weather gets nice outside beyond the
Direct
frosty,
sow, put it right in a
Right in the
pot, right
ground?
in the ground. Absolutely. You can actually take your peat pots and just don't stick them in the cheese drawer, okay? Put them in the back of the refrigerator. And then here we are, we're at the end of March, mid-March. So you can go ahead and put these direct sow in the ground in April, right away. So, or put them in your garage. So these seeds right now are in the dormant state. They're holding energy. Nothing's happened with them yet. And so what we're going to do in this case for the common blue violet is just give them a continued refrigeration until you're ready to direct sow. There's markers. You each have a marker, and go ahead and write whatever you want. You can put today's date. You can put blue violet. You can put the state flower. Let you spray.
Bit of spray.
Right.
Just spray the top of the soil. So they just rested their little tiny seeds right on top of the soil. There's no planting involved because these seeds are so tiny. Give it a little spritz. And your job now is to keep the soil just moist.
Okay.
And a little spray bottle is perfect. And I say, you know what, put a little moisture in the air. We're constantly losing water. So you have now just planted the common blue violet. And I have to tell you, gardening, you are gardening right now. Just so you know, you were, and this is wonderful because gardening is so good for you. It's good for us. It's good to connect us. And you know, here we are. We're going to now grow something that not only will turn into something beautiful, but it'll also be something that you can enjoy as an edible, or even just sprinkle on a salad too. So this particular flower likes a little dappled shade somewhere in its day. And I do want to point out something extremely important whenever you're working, whether it's seeds or plants at whatever stage they are at, or even soil. Don't put anything in your mouth. Let's just assume for this purpose, don't go ahead and just stick anything in your mouth. Always take caution with knowing what it is you're planting. I say read the label. There's a lot of information on the seed packet. So the second seed that we're gonna do is, I just love this one. So these are sugar snap peas.
I like that.
Oh, delicious.
Okay.
Love
Oh
them on
my
a
God.
Salad and
Salad.
wok.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, steamed, raw, and I have to tell you, go ahead and get your soil ready for these two. I'm gonna actually open this up.
How deep
And
do you want this soil?
I would go, why don't you add a little bit more than you did with the
Okay.
common blue violet, and Commissioner, you're good. That's great, so a little bit more, go ahead.
Okay.
I say that all the pertinent information about when to sow, if you will, or plant in the ground, in our case, is always on the back of your label. Read the label. And Seed packets anywhere from a dollar up to $3 for a packet, but you got hundreds of seeds in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and I say sugar snap peas are just magical, number one, because they're so sweet and so
Yeah,
delicious,
they grow
better
really
than candy. I'm gonna give you some. And you can see, now these are much larger, all right? And I'm gonna give you some. And if you want, you can use the back of your Sharpie marker to make
Okay.
a hole, make the
Oh,
holes, or
great
a
idea.
finger if you want. Anything. You could use a popsicle stick, a pen, a pencil, it doesn't matter. And you'll go ahead and just insert it down maybe a quarter of an inch, not far at all, whereas the common blue violet seeds were rested right on top, okay?
So this Sharpie method, I know I'm going only up to about
Yes,
here, right?
there you go.
Okay.
And when we get to the sunflowers, you're gonna go even deeper, okay?
Nice.
So
Okay.
why don't you go ahead and
A little
spritz?
spritz.
Yep, and you're gonna make a label, if you will, with your popsicle stick.
Okay.
And what
for-
I like about this is a lot of time. I mean, I've direct sowed those into the ground,
Yes,
but by putting it into a pot, you don't want to have to transplant it out of the pot. You can plant this pot right in the ground,
that's right,
and
yes
then
you
you don't
can.
affect the root system of the developing.
Yeah, you're not
peas.
disturbing it, exactly.
Um,
You've now both just planted your sugar snap peas. These are a cold crop.
Right.
And I say cold, meaning so you're directly sowing them into the ground in April. You can actually even do it now, but we're gonna still wait a couple weeks. You could just sit on a windowsill, it's fine.
Okay,
And
this
you've
you don't-
labeled, put
you
the
don't
date.
put it in the refrigerator like
Nope,
the other ones.
nope,
This
not
one
at all.
I'm gonna just leave on by the sun.
Yep, you're gonna leave right by the
Okay.
sun, leave it alone, keep the soil moist with your spritz bottle so that you don't cause the seed to flush up to the top of the soil surface, hence the reason for a little spray bottle. So our largest and third seed today is the mammoth sunflower. Let's go ahead and why don't you tear your packets open, because you're each gonna plant a different variety of the mammoth sunflower. And you have your third peat pot as well, so you could
Yeah.
put some soil in it.
These little white things that I see in the soil
Styrofoam.
sometimes. What is it?
It's like a styrofoam, little pieces of styrofoam.
But is it really styrofoam?
It's used for
So-
drainage. It's used to
Okay.
help keep either moisture in or allow moisture to move out.
To move out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you'll see that a lot, and oftentimes too, you'll even see rice in some of the containers, and you'll be like, "Wow, I never saw plants that have a whole layer of rice on top of it." So it's wonderful. A lot of cool things, but these are all recyclable.
Nice.
So what I want you to do is put a couple sunflowers in the palms of your hands as well, because I want to see if the colors of your two different sunflowers are the same.
Mine almost look.
Yours are a little bit more gray, greenish, grayish, and
yeah.
yours are, yeah. So they're shaped differently. Their colors are differently.
See how they taste. You want to try them?
No.
Don't eat them. She said no eating.
Yeah,
Paul.
not today. You're not going to eat them today. So go ahead now. In your pea pot, I'm going to just encourage you to maybe put 2 or 3 seeds.
Just 2 or 3.
Right,
Okay,
because
I'll
the
put
surface
these
area
back
is
now.
kind of tight. And
These
now
are
remember,
pretty big.
Right,
mammoth sunflowers, I kid you not, single stalk is going to be a couple inches around, and there's no way that this pea pot is going to hold 3 mammoth sunflowers at full maturity. That's not going to happen. Thing is not time and space secluded. You just gardened, and we're not in a garden, are we?
Thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely, and thank you for
Wonderful.
joining.
Oh, it's been a
And the
pleasure.
Madden Farm, thank you so much. They're located in Franklin Township in Somerset County, right on Route 27. Please come support our local farmers and please support our agriculture here in Somerset County. We're focusing this year's Agricultural Day on our farmers and how they get food to our table and all the work that they do for us. So on behalf of the entire County Commissioners Board, thank you, farmers, for all you do for Somerset County, keeping it beautiful, keeping the water in the soil and preventing flooding by your farms as well, keeping it gorgeous, keeping us fed, and keeping a vibrant business in our county.
And native flowers.
Yes.
For our roadsides and our curb
Absolutely.
appeal, if you will,
Beautiful.
right? Beautiful. So thank you for letting us join you today to do this. And, happy
And
planting.
Go
right?
plant something.
Go plant something. Go plant something.